video is a preview of the World Chess Championship Dubai 2021 between Magnus Carlsen, the defending champion you can see here, and Nepo-NepomiachetchI, the challenger you can see there. Let's see a couple of key games. The first game, Magnus is white, Nepo-NepomiachetchI is black. They played it in 2021 this year. So this is a Queen's Gambit. I'm gonna go very quickly in the opening. And here, Nepo-NepomiachetchI with black played bishop b4. He loved that Ragozin kind of play, and that's something he may play in the championship. So now here, the main theory move is knight f3. But in this position, it will be played by Magnus. Why is that? Let's continue. Knight e2 played instead of f3. And here, Magnus is happy because the knight on e2 went on c3 and he has a better structure. So now I'm gonna go back to the key moment of the game here, move 17, white to play. And Magnus played b5. His idea, take here, and then rook c1, and you have a weakness on the queen side. Now look on the king side here, and the king here is exposed. These squares over here are weak. What did Nepo play with black? h5. Now of course Magnus takes, rook g1, and here h4 attacking. So we can see with the bishop, the knight and the queen trying to get to the king, while of course Magnus will win c6. So that's a typical battle between positional Magnus and explosive Nepo-NepomiachetchI. In this key position, Magnus decided to take on g4. Now you may ask, this is dangerous opening around the king. Why he didn't play, let's say, rook a c1? Where's the plan? Let me demonstrate the variation. Take, rook e8, bringing the rook to the attack. You have to defend here, knight d1 here, and then knight d4 take because there's a pin. The queen takes, rook e4, excellent move. The queen moves, check, and here you checkmate on the light squares. So clearly would be a very quick attack. So here Magnus take, and then queen f6 played to move the queen away from the g file, and h5 played, and that was a crazy position. Now in the end this game continued, but I want to go very quickly, and the key moment was over here. And in the end game, rook f2 played, and you can see that the king here is in trouble. So Magnus took here, king g6, and we can see that the white king is gonna get mated. And here Magnus is trying to create counterplay on g7, but king h6 side tapping, and then rook e3 played, and we can see that the white king is gonna be checkmated. Let's say if you play a6, Magnus resigned, then you get f5, and if you move the king, you get checkmate. So you have to give up the rook, but this is completely winning for black. So this was a game where Nepo really showed what he can do in a tactical battle. But of course, Magnus is also very strong tactically, as we can see in the game number 2 presented here. Carlsen is black, Nepo-NepomiachetchI is white, and here the black knight is attacked here. But surprise, bishop f5 played, and this is a very strong move, trying to threaten c2. So of course, Nepo-NepomiachetchI takes and recapture by Magnus. Now, how do we defend against the king? So in this position, Nepo tried 95. But I can show you, if you don't do anything, let's say you do h4 instead, then you have check, you come with the bishop and checkmate, mate in 3. So you really have to go quickly to defend. Knight d5 played, but here tactically white is lost. Check. Now Carlsen takes on b2, and you're attacking c2. So if you were to defend with the bishop, this is losing right away because you do rook a3 and you're checkmating the white king. So instead to defend c2, queen takes c7 was Nepo's move. But that's losing very quickly. And in this position, white resigned. Can you see why? Well, it checkmate in 2, check, the king moves, and checkmate. So again, very sharp example by Magnus. Let's see one more game. In this example, this was played over the board in a World Rapid Championship. Magnus Carlsen is white and Jan Nepomniachtchi is black. And here Carlsen played Queen E8. So this is very strong because you have a checkmate in 2 coming. And as well as attacking the bishop c8. So you may say, well, it's game over. But here, Nepo played bishop e6. So now you're covering that, but of course, the bishop is en prise. So what happened if you take on e6 here? Well, you have queen e1 check, queen f1 check, and you keep checking the king, and you do actually perpetual. It's only a draw. So of course, Magnus saw that and said, well, I don't want the queen to come here or the queen to come to g1. So he played king f2. So now he's trying to escape the checks. And here, very quickly, Nepomniachtchi didn't, understand the seriousness of the position and played queen b2. And that was a losing move. Now I want to show you, if you had spent a bit more time, queen d4 check would have been a draw. So why is that? Let's say you move the king here, and here you do take here. So you don't have the time to take the bishop because queen d3 would do check and check. So let's say you recaptured the pawn, but then you do check, and you keep checking, and you're gonna continue to do checks. So just to show you, if here you take the bishop here, you think you're winning with white, but that doesn't work because you go here, and you can again do some checks, and you cannot escape the checks in this position. So in this position, queen d4 was a winning move, but Nepomniachtchi played queen b2, and now Carlsen outplayed him. Why is that? Queen a1, and this is with the idea to come back and to do some check, but knight g3, and Carlsen doesn't take on e6 yet, and he's using the knight to cover the checks. So let's see how he did that. The knight comes next to the king, very strong, and only now he takes, right? So black tried to keep doing some checks like that, but eventually ran out of checks, and here it was easy for white to win. Let's see, check, and here queen a1 and queen d7, and then you're gonna have checkmate. If you do king here, you simply have knight g6 checks. You go here, then you do check here, and if you come here, you're gonna end up being checkmated in 2 because you have, let's say, queen f8 check, take here, and this is checkmate, right? And over here, if you try to elude the checkmate, then that checkmate this way. So we can see that in this game, Carlsen was able to outplay the challenger. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Looking forward to the World Championship in Dubai later in November. Thank you for watching.